Hello. 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 Everything else clear?
नहीं रहता इधर ब्लॉक कर दिया था लाइटिंग लैम्प नीचे
पहले पहले वहां से बैठे आगे लग भाई के साथ लाइटिंग के साथ भी इनवाइट करना all the five will be invited and anyway Naveen Sharma is with them so who will assist for lighting
के सब
he is assisting
लाइटिंग में
then I'll stand here I'll not get down
नहीं
then I don't need this
ओके यहाँ जो लाइटिंग लैम्प होगा वो टाइम में स्लो का
कौन बजा रहा है
हाँ बीच Three girls are girls. They will be coming. Okay. They will be standing there.
okay
मैं उसको कोऑर्डिनेट करेगा हमारे सब एक बार माइक्रोफोन ऑन करके हम टेस्ट करेंगे quite small.
Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible? Is okay?
And invite Sulsa.
Oh, welcome address. Before welcome address.
Welcome address.
To propose welcome address. You for waiting.
सभी का बैठे ये सभी का बैठे सभी का बैठ रहे हैं फिर आप पासवर्ड को बना रहे कीबोर्ड के लिए फिर दूसरे समथिंग यस बेटा keyboard and I'll come here and declare for the tea break. Request everyone for the tea break. नहीं पीछे नीचे ही जाएगा
चेयर लगा उसमें इसको एक चेयर लगा टाइम नीचे क्यों आ रहा है
यहाँ से आने को होगा नहीं आपको बंद ब्लॉक कर दिया ना फिर नहीं होगा ना डिस्टर्ब होगा और फिर करने से देयर इज नो प्लेस फॉर मी टू गो है ना एक बड़ा रहेगा पीछे से आ जाएगा टी है इसमें टी इज इन द कैंटीन है
हां कैंटीन
Sunny enter another session. So this is then let's try to check 3.
तो तेरे को फोकस
है
तेरे आल्सो चाहिए
है फिर तो ही बैठेगा
जस्ट स्पीक तो
फिर इज नॉट ऑन द स्टैंड बनेगा फिर वहां जाएंगे तो अपन
फिर यहां पे मतलब शुरू भी है
तो कभी लोग
ये और में हम लोग मैं पीछे
नहीं रखना चाहिए ना बिकॉज आई विल कॉल यू हियर ना
आई मीन हियर ऑन उनका एड्रेस होना है देन मेक इट प्रेजेंटेशन
तो कैसे होगा
स्क्रीन नीचे करना अच्छा स्क्रीन आएगा ऑलरेडी है
तो ही विल स्टैंड नीचे खड़े होगा तो आई विल आस्क द टू टेक द चेयर और
हेलो हो गया हाँ
Dear all participants and guests, our chief guest is just arriving. Warm welcome, sir. It gives me immense pleasure inviting you all and welcoming you all here at JKPur campus on the 23rd Engineering and Factory Management Conference. It is an historical moment for all of us, and I'm very happy and glad that our Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Shri Hashparji, is also with us on this occasion. I request our chief guest, along with our President, Shri S. Mehtaji, Shri A. Hiruji, the President Corporate HR, Shri P.K. Suriji, our EVP Works, and Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma, the coordinator and convener for this engineering conference, to please come on the stage and take his seats. Please give a big hand to all our dignitaries. Thank you very much, sir. To start this session, first I would like to welcome our honorable guest, and for this we would like to present a flower bouquet to our guest, and I will request Shri L.P. Srivastava to please come and hand over the flower bouquet to our chief guest, Shri Harshpaji Singhania. Please give a big hand. Thank you, Srivastava. And now I request Shri K. Uday Nayarji, VP Works, Shri Gita Industries, to please hand over the flower bouquet to Shri A. S. Mehtaji. Thank you, Uday Nayarji. And now I request Shri Sanjeev Kumar Paul, General Manager Manufacturing from Oman Dairies, to hand over the flower bouquet to Shri A. Hiruji. Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. And now I request Shri Ranjeev Kausar, DGM Instrumentation Board, JKO CPM, to hand over the flower bouquet to Shri P.K. Suriji. Thank you, Suriji. And now I request Shri Gurunath Reddy to please come and hand over the bouquet to Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma. And now for starting this great event, which will be a 3 days long event, I will request our dignitaries on the dais to please come and light the lamps so that we can have a auspicious start of this program. Please, sir. Welcome, sirs. Lighting of the lamps before starting any special occasions symbolizes that there is an inherent potential which is ignited by showing a small spark which glows and provides the light all where. And I hope this convention, this conference, which is just started, will also end up identifying those all inherent and the latent talents, the potentials that we all together as a group have, and share it and make it working all together horizontally so that we can grow further and enlighten the whole nation. And now, without taking much of the time, I request Shri P. Kesuri ji, our Executive Vice President, World's Charitable Unit, to please come and give his welcome address. Shri P. Kesuri ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shri Harshpatji Singhania, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Shri Mehta ji, Shri Thiru ji, Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma ji, dignitaries who has come from our JKO organization, different groups, my colleagues, press and media members. I take a great pleasure in extending a warm welcome to all of you for this 23rd JKO organization East Zone Inter-Company Engineering and Factory Management Conference. It is a matter of privilege for all of us to have Shri Harshpatji Singhania, who is a pioneer in this initiative and chairman of JKO organization Inter-Company Engineering Conference. Sir, we are grateful to you for accepting to inaugurate this function. A warm welcome to Shri Mehta ji, who has extended his support and encouragement in organizing this event. Welcome to Shri Thiru ji, who has guided us in organizing the conference. A very hearty welcome to Shri Shripatji Singhania for accepting our invitation and being present in this conference. A special welcome to Dr. V. Rajesh Natarajan, Principal Consultant, Tech Mahindra, for accepting invitation as speaker for this conference. Welcome to Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma ji and Shri Unni Nair ji for their continuous guidance and support in every aspect for making this event successful. A hearty welcome to distinguished delegates from various business units of JK organization. Welcome to press and print media. This place is a remote place. It is a backward district of Odisha. Here you can get only forest and a small waterfall. You may not get the luxury of shopping malls and entertainment as you get in cities. But you will be getting a pollution-free atmosphere and panoramic natural view. We are putting our best effort to make your stay comfortable. In case any assistance or help is required, my organizing teams are always available 24 hours. With this, I once again welcome you all and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very honest and warm welcome to all the dignitaries. You have very rightly depicted the scenario of JKO nearby. I hope in the days to come, people will also be able to see those natural beauty. And now, I request Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma ji, our convener engineering conference, to give a brief overview about the engineering conference. Shri Naveen Kumar Sharma ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Sri Harshpatji Singhania ji, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, JK Paper Limited. Sri A.S. Mehta ji, President JK Paper. Sri A. Thiru ji, President Corporate HR. Sri Pavan Kumar ji Suri, Unit Head JK Paper Mills Limited, Raigada. Sri V.N. Rajesh ji, Principal Consultant, Tech Mahindra, Chennai. Sri Srivas ji, my colleagues and co-convener of the conference, Mr. Uni Nayak, Unit Head, JK Chennai, my dear friends and future architects of JK organization. I welcome you all to this 23rd Intercompany Exchange Engineering and Factory Management Conference. Before I speak on the topic given, let me thank Mr. P.K. Suri ji and his entire team for the great hospitality extended to all of us and for the enthusiasm shown by the entire team in making the conference grand success and a memorable event. We know that the first engineering conference of JKO was organized way back in the year 1988 in Odisha at Odisha Synthetics. And with this, and with the commissioning of this conference, it is turning 27 years old. JK Paper Mills has organized this event 3 times in the past, in the year 1990, in 1992, and in 2008, and is now being organized 4th time after a gap of about 7 years. During these years, lot many things have happened in the unit on the engineering front, which we all will be witnessing during our plant visit scheduled on 3rd day of the conference, that is on 27th of November. Although I had attended 2 engineering conferences during the year 2002 and 2006, but responsibility given to me of co-convener of the conference in the year 2012 and then convener in the year 2014 had offered me an opportunity to look into the affairs very closely and deeply. My current association with the event has deepened my regard for the organization and for its visionaries for providing us this wonderful platform for intercompany knowledge exchange. Frankly speaking, my close association with the conference activities has forced me to look into my own performance as a convener. And I share with you that I am not very much happy with the outcome of the event organized during the past 2 years under my stewardship. I have realized that purpose of this conference is not mere offering a platform for interaction, but is more than that. This event is a serious business for all of us, where we are spending lakhs of rupees and resources on organizing this event with a hope that each of us shall get new ideas, projects, innovations to further implement at our respective units. To make the conference more productive, projects were identified and listed for implementation by each participant of the respective unit during the 21st Engineering Conference organized in 2013 at JK Lakshmipat University, Jaipur. I'm happy to share that some of our units had reported on the implementation of those selected projects, but most of us have failed to do so. We have made an attempt to analyze the issues related to the selection and successful implementation of the projects, and based upon our previous experience, we have taken some specific decisions for this year's conference, like presentation by the units are to be made on innovations, improvements in the prescribed format only. I understand that it will make the presentations more interesting, focused and understandable to select some good implementable projects, innovations in the respective units. My role as a convener and your role as a participant can be justified only when we successfully implement our learnings from the conference at our respective workstations. I am excited with the number of participants, which is more than 55 and is ever highest in the recent times. This conference is witnessing participation from our 19 operating manufacturing locations, including JK Tornel, Mexico, and GST Bangalore, who are participating first time in the conference. I welcome both of them. During the conference, 3 expert speakers have been arranged from various institutes of repute to speak on the conference topic, that is, the future of the manufacturing belongs to automation. It's my humble request to the participants that let us interact with the experts as much as possible to get some implementable points in our respective units. During the conference, we'll have about 17 presentations from our various units on engineering innovations carried out during the past 3 years, that is from 2012 onwards, and shall present some selected cases in detail which will have high potential for implementation across the organization. The presentation shall be evaluated to award for the 3 best innovations implemented at our units, which have resulted into considerable resource savings. Our conference organizing young team members have also created a uniform resource locator URL for the conference, and also they have developed a conference specific poster for the conference which can be accessed through internet, and we propose to keep it live even after the conference is over for effective and fast communication among the engineers of the organization. With this, I close my address and hope that this conference shall be a great success, having long-lasting impact on in improving companies' bottom line. Thank you very much for your patience listening.
Thank you, Naveen Sharma, for your very responsible deliberation. Undoubtedly, you are a very trusted convener, and there's a reason since 2012, in a continuation, this responsibility has been shouldered to you. It is good that in the beginning of the conference, you shared your experience and your pain you felt for class 2 conferences. And I'm pretty hopeful, I'm pretty confident that the group sitting here will definitely prove all those experience as wrong by a very successful and positive mindset and implementation all those ideas which will come out from this conference. It's a very good blend that very learned and experts are also sharing their experience, their thoughts as a part of this conference along with the various presentations from our different units. So this complete blend will definitely help all these presentations to get on the right track and move to a much higher level so that we can make a successful presentation. And now, I request our chief guest, Shri Harshpati Singhania, to please come on the dais and deliver his keynote address. I request audience to please give a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. The dignitaries on the dais, Mr. A.S. Mehta, Mr. Thiru, the Sthan Devta of JKO, Mr. Suri, and the Vishwakarma of this conference, Mr. Naveen Sharma. My dear colleagues from the JK family, gathered esteemed speakers and friends. I'm delighted to be here today with you at the inaugural of this 23rd Intercompany Engineering and Factory Managers Conference of the JK organization. As Mr. Naveen Sharma said, while this is the 23rd edition, which has been more than 27 years since we have been doing this. Uh, I think this by itself is quite not just an accomplishment, but I think it is quite unique because I think very few groups in the country, if any, have this kind of interaction between their units in an organized, periodic manner. Apart from this, we are also conducting a whole bunch of other intercompany conferences covering all kinds of topics. It is marketing, it is information technology, it is personnel managers, it is a whole lot of things and materials and so on and so forth. So all of these conferences have continued over the years and decades, which itself is quite unique, and it provides a great platform to learn, to share, to make friends, and go back home charged with a new agenda. Mr. Naveen Sharma also mentioned that it's important that we go back with an agenda of action and then monitor and see. I have been discussing with him. He can't monitor all your projects, but he can certainly try and motivate you to see that work comes out and results are achieved from all those projects. Our group, as you know, is a century-old group. We are today about 26,000 crore in terms of turnover, about $4 billion. We employ well above 30,000 people, and we constitute a very large and diverse range of activities and businesses that we do. Our products are sold in about 100 in about 100 countries, which means all over the globe. So all of you, first of all, should feel proud that you are part of this group, which is very extensive and offers immense opportunities for learning, growth, and development. I'm also happy that as time is progressing, we are using technologies, and you mentioned some of the special arrangements made for this conference. The small unmanned camera here is telling you that this is being live webcast. So some of your colleagues, or many of your colleagues hopefully, who are at the respective locations will also be able to see this function and in a way witness what is happening here. You know, most of you here are engineers and people coming from a technical background. I am not perhaps the best equipped to say that because I'm not an engineer. So I stand in front of you to talk to you about technology and engineering, but I'm not terribly qualified for it. But what I would like to tell you is I think that the theme of this conference this year is very appropriate in terms of automation, and also it talks about the future of manufacturing. Now, why manufacturing? Because the JKO organization, while it has different businesses, the core of JKO organization's businesses is in manufacturing, and most of it in large capital intensive manufacturing. So really, while a whole lot of functions in terms of marketing, in terms of other support services, finance, everything makes a mark, it is this capital intensive, asset intensive manufacturing which really determines the success of the company. So therefore, I think it is very appropriate because it's manufacturing and also this whole issue of automation. Now, I was reading recently, and I wanted to share with you. There's nothing new. Most of you know this, but I really want to talk to you about what is being now called Industry 4.0. Now, most of you would have heard of this term, or at least a lot of you. But I'd like to talk today to you about Industry 4.0, or some people call it Manufacturing 4.0. You know, when I was looking at some data, we came across this very interesting statistics. The manufacturing cost index of the top 25
export economies in 2014. And the manufacturing cost, including labor cost, is actually quite surprising. So if we take this index to be 100 for a country like the United States of America, so it's 100 for the United States. Let's see how a few other countries stack up. China, our perception is a low cheap labor economy, but China's index is 96. Brazil is at 123. Now, I would imagine it's probably become a little less today because of the devaluation by 50% of their currency. This is 2014 data, but it just shows relative to each other. Taiwan is 97, Thailand is 91, and India is 87. Now, the interesting thing which I want to draw your attention to is we think of India as a low labor cost economy, as cheap. But when you look at a manufacturing index, we are not capturing just the cost of wages. We are capturing the cost of wages, productivity, and the output that is generated. Therefore, if you see the USA in the last several years, and it's also true for Europe, by the way, in the last several years, has really, through extremely high productivity, not labor productivity alone, but coming through automation, through robotics, through this kind of advanced manufacturing, really being able to make itself much more competitive. So the whole point is around competitiveness. So therefore, unless we do this in India, we will not be able to maintain our edge, or we will not be a natural location. I'm pretty sure Mexico is in a similar boat. Labor productivity, which is another measure, if we measure it as GDP per person employed, then we see what impact automation has had. For example, from 2007 to 2012, it is more than doubled in China, going up from about $4,600 per capita in 2007 to about $10,200 in 2012. In Japan, it has moved from $67,000 to $94,000. So that shows the kind of productivity improvement countries have been able to achieve with this. Now, let's see what the basic principles of manufacturing or Industry 4.0 are. It is really that by connecting machines, workpieces, and systems, businesses are creating intelligent networks along the entire value chain that can control each other autonomously, and that is what the future of manufacturing and automation is going to be. Now, it's interesting, you all know this, there's nothing new, but let's recall all these industrial revolutions. So the first one, let's call it Industry 1.0 now, began with the steam engine somewhere, in the 18th century, 1780 or thereabouts. And that gave the decisive boost by manufacturing in mechanization and using water and steam as power. And factories suddenly became less dependent on human manpower, and mechanical production plants began manufacturing goods faster and more efficiently. The next revolution, maybe let's call it Industry 2.0, happened around 1900, when electricity was introduced. And really it became electric power that started driving mechanization and automation in that sense. The third revolution started maybe in the 1970s, when automation came into being to increase production through the deployment of electronics and information technology. So you think about it, 60s, 70s, etc. But automation and information technology, computers, and a whole lot of things, sensors, and other electronic devices came in, which further eliminated manual operations and controls. So all of these were not just labor saving, but they increased productivity, they improved quality, they increased throughput. And you were able to do things at a different scale, which was not possible until then. Now, As far as Industry 4.0 is concerned, apparently the term was first coined and used in 2011, which is a far more recent development, at the Hanover Fair in Germany. Germany has been a leader, as you know. So this is where this whole genesis started coming from. Industry 4.0 will transform design, manufacture, operation, and service of products and production systems. Connectivity and interaction among parts, machines, and humans will make production systems, it is estimated, as much as 30% faster and 25% more efficient, and increase this mass customization to completely new levels. In transforming manufacturing, it is expected that manufacturing will be transformed from single automated cells to fully integrated automated facilities that will communicate with one another and boost flexibility, speed, productivity, and quality. In Germany, for example, it is estimated that Industry 4.0 can drive productivity gains of 5 to 8% on total manufacturing costs over 10 years. And the value of this can be anywhere from $100 billion to $150 billion. The impact, therefore, gentlemen, is going to be quite significant. A recent research by BCG, the Boston Consulting Group, shows, again, that they studied Germany and says that it is estimated that it could contribute as much as 1% per year to GDP increase every year over 10 years. It would create, they estimate, about almost 400,000 new jobs and add 250 billion euro to manufacturing investment. Although this full shift may take a couple of decades, but it is clear from all this that over the next 5 to 10 years, we will see very, very significant changes, which will change the landscape and differentiate winners from losers. Now, it is estimated or believed that this will be a transformation which is powered by 9 fundamental technology advantages. In this, sensors, machines, workpieces, and IT systems will be connected along the entire value chain and beyond an enterprise. You already see this here. We talk about cloud computing. We talk about being integrated with our vendors, our suppliers, our customers. But this is far more. These connected systems, which are called cyber-physical systems, can interact with one another using standard internet-based protocols and analyze data to predict failure. They can configure and reconfigure themselves and adapt to changes. So it will make it possible to gather and analyze data across machines and enable a faster and more flexible manufacturing. What could be the possible benefits? It will result in better quality products, increased productivity, reduction in cost, shift in economics of the entire value chain, and it will change, more importantly, the workforce profile. We need different kinds of workers from what we have been thinking of or what we are used to today. Ultimately, the aim of all this is to improve competitiveness, and that is going to distinguish how the entire landscape will be. At the end of the day, everything is about relative competitiveness. The business that is able to compete better, is more competitive than another one, is the one that is going to succeed. Now let's try and understand a little bit. I mentioned these 9 technology changes, what they are. I will briefly put this before you. The first is big data and analytics. Now you've all heard this term. But in manufacturing plants, a lot of data is generated related to production, quality, customer management systems, as we see in automation and controls, you have a whole lot of data that comes. Now this will support and analyze and help in real time the decision making. Now, for example, there are companies which have adopted this. A company which is a semiconductor company, I was reading, which is called Infineon, has adopted this, and they can now identify patterns which help them discharge faulty chips early in the production process rather than detecting them at the end of the process. Therefore, they improve their quality and reduce their costs. Of course, our speaker from Tech Mahindra probably can talk more about these things. You understand this more than we do, and that is why we've invited you. The second one is autonomous robots. Now, we see in many of our own plants at JK, whether it's the new tire plant at Chennai, whether you see it in the new Lakshmi cement plants, and I think very excitingly, you are going to see the new JK paper plant here. Day after tomorrow? As an aside, let me tell you, I am sure all of you will enjoy seeing the plant because it is pretty incredible. And actually time isn't enough. But Mr. Suri, you should make them walk through the old plant, then they can see the difference between, a village and a metropolitan city. That is the kind of difference that there is between the two. It doesn't mean that the old plant doesn't function. The village also thrives, but that is the difference. So the second issue is autonomous robots. And if we look at this kind of thing, you will see in our plant also. Actually, we say that the paper you get or the paper you're using is untouched by hand. So everything is virtually automated, starting from the wood log which is used. The paper is untouched by hand. So you will see this. We have robots that are here, which are used in packaging lines, which are used in storage. I've seen that myself in the tire plant, how you are doing it and how all the tires are being done, and how the robots are moving them around and putting them on conveyors. So with the advancement, various robots will be used in manufacturing, but they will be interacting with each other. And they will work safely, side by side with human beings. Now, ABB, which is very well known in automation, is launching a two-arm robot called Yumi that is specifically designed to assemble products like consumer electronics alongside human beings. The third pillar is simulation. You know things like 3D simulation in engineering and virtual machines which can simulate the processes and allow you to work virtually without obstructing the process. And then implement the concept in the plant or whatever you want. So the third area is simulation. The fourth is horizontal and vertical system integration. Now today, mostly the IT systems are not fully integrated. Even though you have ERP, you have a whole lot of things, so they're not fully integrated. Companies, suppliers, customers, a whole lot of other stakeholders are not completely linked. And likewise, various departments, whether it's engineering, production, services, customer. This kind of integration will allow all of these to get integrated seamlessly. The next, which again I think a lot of buzz is around and people have been reading about, is the Internet of Things. And let's call this the industrial Internet of Things. So more use of sensors right from the start of the process and creating a network of machines that will make use of embedded computing. This will enable real-time processes. For example, Bosch is using this in their production facilities for valves called Bosch Rexroth, where products are identified by RFI codes, radio frequency identification codes, and workstations know which manufacturing steps must be performed for each product and can adapt and perform this specific function. Number 6 is cybersecurity. I don't think I have to describe much more about this. Everybody knows of this term. Number 7 is cloud, which again we talk a lot of that. But the usage of advanced facilities and cloud-based software so that data is easily available and more data-driven services are provided for manufacturing and customer services. The 8th one is additive manufacturing or 3D printing. The development of prototype to produce individual components, whether it's aerospace companies are using it, medical device companies are using it, and a whole lot of other things. And incidentally on this, I'm happy to tell you that in our group, we have already launched a 3D service bureau. So you can actually in your factories take advantage, scan a part, see it. You're already using it outside, but today we have launched it in our group. And Mr. Shiva Singhania sitting here heads a company called Just 3D, which is based out of Delhi. So we have a service bureau right here in-house already in 3D. And I think some of our companies are already working on projects using this outside and now with Just 3D. And the last, or the 9th point, is augmented reality. A wider use of real-time information to provide decision-making and work procedures, like selecting parts in warehouses and sending instructions over mobile devices. But all this will happen in real time. So these are the 9 technologies that will drive Industry 4.0. Who knows, in the future, there will be some deletions, some additions, etc. But that is what we envisage today. So really, it is a very, very fascinating and mind-boggling concept. And today, the more people I talk to in different industries, they talk about this whole concept of manufacturing 4.0. So the challenge is, how do we have discrete pieces, so we have different pieces. We have automation systems in our factories, we have a whole lot of other things happening from what I described to you. But the whole thing is, how does this come together in one piece? And that coming together will really change the landscape for manufacturing, for customer experience, for the way in which goods and services are delivered and even consumed. You see today how dynamic things are. When we look at the e-commerce business, when you look at you as consumers, you put in some search on your computer, and the next time you do something else, something will pop up, which will talk to you about your previous search. Now, it is acting in real time. It is really virtually reading your mind and seeing what you're trying to do. So this is the kind of transformation we will see. There are various challenges. The challenges of how do you deal with reduced manpower. But it will require different kind of human beings with different skill sets, and will also require the skills of things like mechatronics. Again, that is a very frequently used terminology today. It will require manufacturing system suppliers to come in line. So suppliers must leverage technology to come on board. It will require adoption of different kinds of infrastructure and a new education system. And most importantly, will be the issue is, how do you protect this know-how and secure it? So I think there are a lot of exciting opportunities and a great transformation happening today. And it is really up to us, gentlemen, as to how we are able to be a part of this very exciting journey. How we can use it for benefits and gains and profits. Because the most important thing is that if we do not join this, we are going to be left behind, and somebody else will get the benefit of this gains, of the opportunities to make profits that we will be giving away. And by the time we can come on board, those great opportunities and gains would have gone, because by that time it will become a part of everybody. So again, I wanted to conclude by saying that this is a very exciting area. So I think you have uh, picked up a very good and relevant theme to do this. I am myself amazed at the kinds of things. The more I read about it, the more I think about it. And I can't fathom, let me be very frank, I can't fathom what this whole thing is about. But I can certainly get an idea of where we are going with all this. The last thing I want to tell you is that an opportunity, a conference like this is an opportunity to really not just come and listen and go back, not just develop plans, but to also learn from each other. I think that is as much an integral part of a conference like this, to learn from each other, to know who your colleagues are in different companies, because you all belong to the same family. To therefore you are able to connect up with family members, and then most importantly, maybe you will make a few friends down the road, and you will know who you can reach out to. If you have an issue in your factory, use this opportunity to get to know your counterparts and others from other factories. And then you can reach out, then they're only a telephone call away or an email away to say, look, I need help in this, or I'm unable to do this, or look, or you may want to share a good experience. So do that. And now, through a conference like this, you will be able to see the faces behind the names. Otherwise, you can get a mailing list and a directory to say who is the instrumentation head at JK Tire, or the head of utilities at another factory. But how are you going to put the face behind it? So kindly use this opportunity to your advantage, and I'm sure you will have great deliberations over the next couple of days. And as Mr. Suri said, this place isn't all that bad. It is fairly picturesque. One of the advantages is that it's fairly quiet, so you will get some more time to yourselves. The only thing that has happened over here, which is good and which is not so good, is in the earlier days we didn't get very good cell phone connections and other things. So we were actually quite peaceful. I used to like it when I used to come here. There was nobody who could call up. My wife couldn't call up. My office couldn't call up so easily. So I could spend time with myself and reflect on a lot of things. Some of that has changed, but hopefully it's all for the better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very, very comprehensive and structured keynote address on this day. I'm sure this address would have left all the participants of this program shivering by raising this bar for starting this engineering conference with your such a thoughtful and in-depth understanding and expectations from this group. You have very nicely almost summarized what we are expecting out of this 3 days conference from all these deliberations. So definitely this is a challenge for all the participants, for all of us, to come to his expectations and come out with the findings and the solutions as expected by Shri Hansraji. Now we realize that why such kind of conferences are really organized, and it is there very well thought of reasons for patronizing these kind of conferences. He has touched almost all the points, be it real-time, robotics, mechatronics, cyber, manpower productivity, automation, and embedded speech from e-connect to I-connect so that we just not interact only on the cyber system. With this kind of opportunity, we should have an eye-to-eye contact and understand each other as well. So both things are equally important. Thank you very much, sir, for your very comprehensive address. And now, I request Shri S. Mehtaji to please come and give his address to this gathering. Shri Mehtaji.
Very good afternoon, respected Harsh Babu, Mr. Thuru, Naveen ji, Suri Saab, dear friends, and the eminent speaker. I was thinking that to talk after what has been said by Harsh Babu, what is left out? It was very difficult to figure out what to talk. I'll try to do some kind of, or I should say that I would do justice, whatever time I have. As he said, he is still qualified to talk amongst the engineers, but I can say that I am not qualified. But one thing I am very clear. Whatever has been done innovatively is called engineering. According to me, the definition of engineering, if something brings out different and innovative, is called engineering. Because in my accounting and finance field, I have also heard the name of accounting engineering. Where is the the engineering in accounting? But if you do something which is innovative, that itself is engineering. So my definition of engineering is that whatever you do, if it brings out something different, something innovative, something unusual, is the engineering. And let me take you to the industrial revolution and thereafter the generations of engineering. The two things have driven all the time the automation or the engineering. One is the passion and madness of an individual, because there are some characters in this world that they will do something differently, and they are the genius and the innovator. So one is that the passion and the madness of those people that drive the innovation, and the second is the need of the hour. And to my mind, these days, more is the need of the hour, that we need to have the right kind of innovation, sustained innovation, and continuous innovation. And when we are talking about these kind of conferences where we are talking engineering and factory management, in fact, why do we need engineering? And what is the purpose of engineering? And when I said the need, because when there was a need of a higher agricultural productivity, then there was the need of agricultural engineering. And this is how the agricultural engineering field was very, very demanding field. I still remember in the years of early 60s and 70s, India used to be importer of the food grain before the green revolution in the country. Before the agricultural engineering which emerged, before that, we were the importer of the food grain. And today, all the warehouses and godowns are full, and we are not able to store the food grains. This is the outcome of the right kind of engineering and innovative agricultural practices. So, wherever is the need, there is a scope of engineering. So, what we need to think is that in time to come, greater needs will be there. And when we talk about the businesses, as Harsh Babu has said, is that you need to have a continuous competitive advantage. And the competitive advantage, when we talk, it has to be continued. You can't have a competitive advantage today and have complacency, and tomorrow you feel that you will be still competitive. To my mind, it will be irrelevant to have a competitive advantage today. Unless you have a continuous competitive advantage, you will not remain in the business in time to come. We all have seen what has happened to the Kodak film today. They don't exist because they are not contemporary today. They are not kept faced with the need, time, and the technology. So the continuous and continued competitive advantage can come only and only if we remain contemporary and we remain innovative all the time. And if you want to do this, you need hardcore engineering, and that's the need. As he has touched, the JK Group, we are more and more in the manufacturing sector, and greater challenge for the manufacturing sector today is to be competitive and to be cost effective, cost competitive, and the least cost manufacturer you need to be to remain competitive. And the theme of the conference, the manufacturing and automation. I would say that again, this is going to be forced by the need of the hour today. In time to come, there will be a varied expectation from all of us as the factory managers, because a customer would expect the best product coming out of your facilities at the same time at the least cost. The environmentalists or the regulators, they would expect the least kind of atmospheric, the intervention or atmospheric pollution from a manufacturing facility. So that would be expectation from the regulator, that we are the least polluter in time to come. The local community would expect some kind of a contribution, employment generation, economy addition to the local community. All kind of expectation will be there from the manufacturing sector. And the investors who have invested in the manufacturing sector, they would expect the right kind of return from the investment. All these are the expectation. And the employees who will work in the manufacturing sector, they would also have a kind of expectation from the establishment. I would still remember, in fact, today we were discussing, the expectation of the hardcore engineers 30 years back used to be different. A qualified engineer could work at a shop floor in a very shabby condition, the old technologies, but today's qualified engineers, will they work in that kind of a condition? More and more engineers, they would like to work on the controls, sitting in the air-conditioned rooms, not on the shop floor. This is also expectation. Now we need to manage all those kind of expectation and still to be competitive and cost conscious. So that's the challenge, and to my mind, the automation. This is one response or one answer to all those expectations, because by automation we are able to reduce cost, we are able to reduce the kind of manual intervention, so that kind of a discretionary changes will not happen. There will be a process and the system that will ensure that the right quality and the right kind of a product is produced and supplied to the market. So all these expectations will be met only by way of automation. But at the same time, I am firm believer that whatever we do, still there is a human brain and human mind behind everything we do. According to me, I consider an engineer who can hear the sound of a machine and can make out that what is the difficulty and what is the problem of the machine. That's the right kind of engineering. In today's world, we have seen the doctors, and most of the doctors, they still, see your nerve, have the clinical diagnosis. They may validate it by the lab-based reports, but still, we only don't go to the pathology laboratory and have the test and decide ourselves. We still go to a doctor, corroborate those laboratory findings and ask from them. So I would say that you are the truly the doctors for our all the processes and all the facilities. Uh, I think I would finish this, and at the end, I would only say that we have great expectation from all of you, and I am sure that uh, you will meet those expectations. And we have seen as JK Paper the outcome of the automation and the new technology, and you see yourself that what kind of automation and what kind of facilities could be created, and the stark difference between the old and the new one. But it's a highly capital intensive, and that is why I said that when you invest, you need to have the right kind of return, and the return is possible only by way of automation, only by way of higher productivity, only by way of right product quality, and which I'm sure we will have. With this, I congratulate all of you for coming here. Mr. Suri has welcomed all of you. Welcome from my side to this place. I'm sure you will enjoy the hospitality, and you will interact with all of your colleagues, and take the advantage of being together here. Take the advantage of others learning. With this, thank you so much and all the best wishes.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving a new view on the approach of for this conference. You started with the right word that nothing is left to say, but then you take on a new journey and share your feelings, your expectations, and not just your expectations, the expectations which every one of us is having, because it's the time of the expectations and meeting those expectations. With the words of expectations, I recall one share of a very civil shire I would like to share. दिल भी एक जिद पैदा है किसी बच्चे की तरह, या तो सब कुछ ही से चाहिए या कुछ भी नहीं. So that kind of expectations is growing from all the fronts, and we need to maintain, we need to fulfill those quality aspects, the cost aspects, the relative cost aspects, the profitability aspects, and the satisfaction aspects in all the terms. If we are not able to compete, as sir, you have rightly said, the big giants could act no more. We have heard a lot about the dinosaurs, no more. So until unless we keep the pace with the time, or rather I should say, we run little ahead of the time, then nobody can beat. And this is what the long journey of this group, the long journey of this organizations, the decade, the century-old journey, even this conference, we are organizing this 23rd conference, so such a long journey in organizing, in maintaining all these things. It is only the outcome of those sustained efforts and adaptability, acceptance, and the hunger for our readiness for the change is time. So I'll not take much of the time now. It is the time for a group photograph. So I request all the participants, the dignitaries on the dais, and our delegate guests. So please join in the ground outside for a group photograph. We'll also have a tea break, and we will reassemble here at 5 o'clock. Please.
Live.